Hello and welcome to Manchester's G-Mex Centre for the Guinness Soccer 6 Championships. If you want non-stop football action, this is the place to be. We have the biggest and best indoor soccer tournament ever held in the British Isles, and not just because there's £250,000 worth of prize money available to the winners, but also because we have for the first time all 20 First Division clubs, plus the local interest of Manchester City from the Second Division, City actually taking part in tonight's games. Now, we've reached the second round qualifying stage. If you were watching earlier, you'd have seen how Charlton Athletic deservedly fought their way into Wednesday's final stages, where they'll be joined by the three-seeded clubs, Liverpool, Wimbledon, and the reigning Soccer 6 champions, Nottingham Forest. That's enough from me. The action's about to begin. Let me just show you tonight's two groups. Group C, we have Manchester City, Queen's Park Rangers, and the First Division leaders at present, Norwich City. And in Group D, Millwall, who are doing so well in the First Division for the first time, Luton Town and Sheffield Wednesday. The opening game in Group C certainly creates a lot of atmosphere. The local team, Manchester City, against Queen's Park Rangers.
Manchester City's priority this season is obviously to get promotion back into Division 1, but they'll be keen here in the G-Mex to win this second night of Soccer 6 and go through to the finals on Wednesday. And they're starting six: Andy Dibble, Andy Hinchcliffe, Steve Redmond, who's the captain, Ian Brightwell, Wayne Biggins, and number 8, Mark Seagraves. And this first match in Group A against Queen's Park Rangers, and they start with Seaman, Maguire, Osvaldo Ardiles, Breck, Falco, and Faraday. And interestingly, the oldest man in the tournament, number 4, Osvaldo Ardiles, now 36, and the youngest man is number 10, Bradley Allen, who might come on as a substitute, 17-year-old younger brother of Clive. And Manchester City in their familiar blue shirts, who kick off, attacking the goal to the left, 7.5 minutes each way. And let's hope they're fully familiar with the rules of Soccer 6. Got to leave an attacking player in the opponent's half at all times. And unlike the five-a-side game, of course, it's much more like real football. The ball can be headed and kicked above head height. Andy Dibble, who's been in fine form for Manchester City this season. Out to Hinchcliffe, back after a 3-match suspension. Just listen to the support for the Second Division side. Brightwell. So the first serious strike at goal comes from City's youngsters. Ardiles, Argentine international, and that didn't carry to Mark Falco, easily cut out by Seagraves, and a good chance, shot by Wayne Biggins. A bright spell at the start of this match for Manchester City. Hinchcliffe, 19-year-old, England youth international, in possession, gets it back. Joe Worrell gets out of the way. England's newest international goalkeeper, David Seaman, almost turned that one into his own net. There's a terrific support here tonight for Manchester City. And for some reason, City's supporters this season have adopted an inflated banana as their visible sign of support. Tries to play it back off the boards. The feature of City's play in this first couple of minutes is the speed with which Dibble is feeding the ball back out to his forwards. Oh, what a good strong run by Brightwell. Oh, what a fabulous goal. Strength and persistence, and then the shot to finish it. City set the G-Mex alight with a perfect goal. Hinchcliffe, time to control the ball. And he gets it forward to Biggins, who holds it up on the boards. Oh, now a chance here for Rangers to break. But they get back quickly, Manchester City, and they certainly get it out quickly from Dibble. Seagraves. That comes all the way through to Seaman. And he, in turn, feeds it out quickly to Ardiles. The players are enjoying it. City substitutes waiting to come on. They might not enjoy this. Oh, it's an own goal. What a disappointment. The boy who got the goal scores at the other end. Well, he might have got back, Ian Brightwell to stop that one going into the net, but he had to check, because if he'd stepped into the shaded zone, it would have been a penalty anyway. 7 is Carl Bradshaw. Steve Redmond, who's had a couple of dips. Bradshaw nicely found, but the intention was there. Oh, well cut out, Bradshaw. This is Biggins. And blocked by Maguire. "15 seconds left. Still Manchester City 1. Queen's Park Rangers 1.
10 seconds to go.
Oh, well cut out. Redmond. There's only 4 seconds left for City to get in a strike. Ball with Bradshaw. And the first half ends with Manchester City probably disappointed, having taken the lead through Ian Brightwell. And then the same player conceding the own goal to give us a half-time score. Manchester City 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. So Queen's Park Rangers start the second half. Ardil is in possession, quickly through to Falco. And Ardil is almost in to poach it from Dibble. Finds Seagraves. Good run up the middle by Hinchcliffe. This is Beckford. Ardiles for Rangers. Falco's out wide on the right. City have got back and regrouped. Faraday lays it back to Pierre. Well, David Pizzatini had the shot. Again, quickly thrown out by Dibble. Finds Beckford. Hinchcliffe, Beckford again. Redmond. He's back to goal and he's looking up for some support. Hinchcliffe. Redmond again. Beckford. Couldn't quite work an opening. Oh, neat little back heel by Ardiles. Here comes City. Alton! Carl Bradshaw. Another goal that will please the Rangers captain and goalkeeper David Seaman. He's a long way out, Carl Bradshaw, and that right between Seaman's legs. Well, it's end-to-end at the moment. Pizzanti, put it on his right foot, finally went a little bit too far. Faraday. City do a good job of blocking. Kevin Brock. Falco couldn't quite squeeze it through. Three minutes left. City still ahead, 2-1. Faraday. Well, he'd beaten the dive of the keeper. Falco going in strongly. Good goal, and that was the power of Mark Falco. He got there ahead of Bradshaw, and it always looked like the City man's ball, really. Look at the space, the speed that he makes up over the last couple of yards to get there first. Never looks like his ball, does it? But it's 2-2. Header by Beckford. Handball. Well, looked deliberate by Kevin Brock. City have started again very quickly. Neatly done. Oh, fine goal! Cleghorn. Beautifully struck, left foot, right into the corner. And City ahead again by 3-2. 26-year-old Nigel Cleghorn, who'd just come on for his first look at Soccer 6, immediately stamps his mark with a great goal. Just got to hold on for the last 16 seconds, and that's a very important save by Andy Dibble. With less than 15 seconds on the clock. And City hold on. Mel Machin has plenty to be pleased with. Winning their first match by 3-2 in front of their supporters.
Well, now, what about Norwich City, the current leaders of the First Division? Against Queen's Park Rangers, now wearing their more familiar blue and white hooped shirts, Norwich took the lead through Andy Townsend in the first half. Here are the highlights of the second half.
Paul Cook. They've got a Cook and a Crook on Norwich City, which doesn't make it easy for the commentator. And Faraday, watch his pace. Falco gets it back. Ardiles. Falco was on the far side, and Faraday gets the equaliser. Three-man attack, Falco, Ardiles, and finally the shot from Wayne Faraday makes it 1 goal apiece. Townsend already scored once. Now Rangers to try and break quickly through Wayne Faraday. Just got Falco forward of him. Finds Falco for a fine goal. Splendid goal from Rangers. And the combination that brought the earlier Rangers goal, Falco and Faraday. Maddox. Fox. Oh, the hands of David Seaman were just long enough. Ardiles. Oh, it was a poor ball by Ardiles to put Crook in possession. Just under 3.5 minutes left. Oh, that's a fine goal from Ian Crook. One might well assume that David Seaman was unsighted. Here's Crook. Plenty of players in front of him. 2 apiece. Falco. Hit me back. Bradley Allen. Oh, bustling play by Mark Bowen, who gets it across to number 8, Malcolm Allen, who wasn't quite quick enough. Well, they might do it now, surely. Mark Bowen puts Norwich back into the lead, and Queen's Park Rangers, having led in this match 2-1 and thought optimistically of a chance of qualifying, have now conceded 2 goals from Crook and Bowen. Malcolm Allen. He's got Paul Cook in the middle, number 5. This is him. Oh, it came off the keeper. An own goal by David Seaman. Well, it was a really good shot by Paul Cook. Hit the crossbar, rebounded off the back of the keeper. Norwich ahead 4-2.
Well, that's how it ended, 4-2 to Norwich, and it left the Group C table looking like this. Queen's Park Rangers are eliminated, and the playoff place is between Norwich and the local heroes, 2nd Division, Manchester City.
7.5 minutes each way, and City know they have to win. A draw will not be good enough. Having beaten Queen's Park Rangers 3-2, then saw Norwich beat Rangers 4-2, and that goal difference means City need to win. Norwich can afford to draw to go through to the final tonight. 5 is Paul Cook for Norwich, 4 is Townsend. There'll be no shortage of effort from Manchester City, you can be certain of that. But here they come through. Biggins on the left foot, crossed the face of goal, and just got away from Brightwell. Andy Hinchcliffe, 19-year-old England youth international. And 8 is Seagraves. Hinchcliffe tries to get it off the boards. Here's Townsend. 5 is Paul Cook. Redmond. Biggins on a break, well found by Redmond. Oh, good shot. Found quite a bit of space on the right, Wayne Biggins, and well picked out by Redmond. 4 is Townsend. Back to Fleck. Easily read. Cook. Putney. Paul Cook. Trying to find Putney. This is Culverhouse who's come forward. Culverhouse. Oh, it's not gone in. It has now. Robert Fleck. Well, the first scoring opportunity fell to Culverhouse. How did he miss a target that big from there? Fortunately for Norwich, Fleck was on hand to convert. 1-0. Norwich start the second half. New player for them is their number 7, Ruel Fox, who's trying to make a break through the middle. And this is Neil McNabb for Manchester City. Haven't seen too much of him in the tournament. Just played the last minute or so in that first game against Queen's Park Rangers. And City obviously feeling they need the older head of Neil McNabb to run things for them. Try and salvage the thing here. Oh, it's there. Malcolm Allen on the spot as the ball came back off the boards. 2-0 Norwich City. Well, that's a real blow to Manchester City, trailing now by 2-0. Machin just looking up at the clock in the centre of the arena, which shows a little over 6 minutes left to play. His young side down 2-0. Malcolm Allen, who got that second goal. Back off the boards for Ruel Fox, it's 3-0. First effort from Malcolm Allen. He was deliberately playing it back off the boards, and Ruel Fox perfectly positioned and not a defender near him. McNabb and Redmond. Christie, Brightwell. Got Biggins up front. Redmond. Good play, Cleghorn. Good play, Norwich City. They've got plenty of players forward here. Malcolm Allen's already been on the score sheet. It does the same again. Off the boards, no doubt about it. Deliberate to find Ruel Fox. And that's a little tactic that Norwich City have obviously thought about. And they've executed it twice in this second half to perfection. And the time ticking out for Manchester City. Just over a minute left as Andy Hinchcliffe drives that ball into the crowd. And the First Division leaders come forward again through Malcolm Allen. Trevor Putney. Robert Fleck. Allen. They've worked hard, Norwich City. Scored 4 good goals and have survived the partisan crowd who desperately wanted to see Second Division Manchester City into the final. Hinchcliffe, only time for consolations now. That's a push, and with 11 seconds left on the clock, Manchester City will get a free kick. Worrell very agitated. Bedford, fine save, John Sheffield. It's quite a tussle, isn't it? And there's the hooter. A match which ends with Mel Machin's old club, Norwich City, beating his current team, Manchester City, by 4-0.
So maximum points for Norwich City, a goal difference of +6, and they go to the playoff game. The opening game in Group D saw Luton Town pick up 3 points with a 1-0 win over Millwall. Roy Wegley, always impressive, getting their winner. Now we can see Luton's second game. Their opponents are Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, Luton Town have the benefit of playing on an artificial surface at Kenilworth Road, so this should be ideally suited for them. Alec Chamberlain, Rob Johnson, Danny Wilson, Marvin Johnson, Kingsley Black and Roy Wegley, their goal scorer against Millwall, are the starting 6. As for Sheffield Wednesday, They have Kevin Pressman in goal, Mel Sterland, Nigel Worthington, Mark Proctor, Nigel Pearson and Imre Varadi, well known here in Manchester. So away we go, Luton Town knowing that victory here would assure them of a place in tonight's playoff match, because having won their first game, they would have a maximum of 6 points were they to defeat Sheffield Wednesday here. And an early attack by Luton, which is broken up by Kevin Pressman. It's 3 points for a win and 1 for a draw in the groups in this Soccer 6. Number 5 there is Nigel Pearson, and here's Varadi. This could open up for Sheffield Wednesday. And Varadi couldn't quite use the boards to find Sterling. Wegley breaks away for Luton. They've got David Oldfield on up front, the blonde lad, but it's still Wegley for the moment. And that's what I mean. He seems to have just the kind of technique to cope admirably with a small-sided game, Roy Wegley. He's fast, and he's also got good skill. 1-0 to Luton. Had a spell as well in North American football, Roy Wegley, where the game is again played on this sort of surface. So he has got all the experience and the equipment to shine in Soccer 6. Here's Mel Sterland. And Nigel Worthington. Richard Harvey got a foot in there. Now here's a good break for Luton. David Oldfield on the ball. Number 7 there was Gary Cobb. And Pressman clears the ball. Indirect free kick to Luton Town. Here's Richard Harvey. It's opening up a little bit again for Luton, but the good thing about this game is that when one attack breaks down, you almost immediately get a threat at the other end, and that's what's happened here with Varadi. Absolutely perfect counter-attack by Sheffield Wednesday, and Imre Varadi puts it away, as all good strikers should from that position. Mel Sterling really made it here. It was a good ball with the outside of his foot, and that was also a very tidy finish. It's 1-1. Proctor. Worthington. And now it's Varadi. That's good persistence by the Sheffield Wednesday man. It's come out to Mark Proctor. Wednesday have improved as the half has gone along. Luton made a decent enough opening here. Sheffield Wednesday have got used to the surface now, and they're playing well. What's also noticeable about tonight's matches is that the teams are now getting used to the rules. You don't get as many players in the sin bin on the second night as we did on the first. And it's half-time in this particular match. And Luton Town and Sheffield Wednesday are level at 1 each. This was how Roy Wegley gave Luton Town the lead, coming inside Nigel Pearson and clipping his shot nicely, sending the keeper the wrong way. And that's the half-time situation, 1 each. And there's the man who scored the equaliser for Sheffield Wednesday, Imre Varadi. Johnson. Oh, it's a great ball by Ziggy Johnson to Varadi. Ziggy Johnson again. And Varadi again. Sterling's over on the far side, hoping to possibly snap up a rebound if somebody has a shot. This is Nigel Pearson. But that won't do. From the big central defender. Now, Gary Cobb for Luton Town. This is Wegley. Allinson. The Luton Town management team of Ray Harford and Richie Barker are here. Now watching Wegley now go through. And they said he was going to be a star. Ray Harford was saying, actually, that this man could well be the player of the night. And it's beginning to look as though he may be right. Luton go 2-1 up, with Wegley cutting in from the right and drilling his shot underneath Kevin Pressman to score his second of this match and his third overall this evening. Wegley played it back for Allinson to shoot against the plexiglass. Marvin Johnson, higher still. The clock has just been restarted. There's 30 seconds, as you can see. This could be Sheffield Wednesday's last real chance. Imre Varadi, who's soldiered on well there throughout the match up front. But Richard Harvey is the player breaking for Luton. Wegley's on the far side, number 8. We're into the last 15 seconds. And time looks to have run out for Sheffield Wednesday. They're not going to force the draw here. And Luton Town have qualified for tonight's playoff final. Roy Wegley, their star, 2 goals in that match, 1 in the first game. Very much the man at the centre of that Luton Town performance, which means that in going to the final, they guarantee themselves at least £14,000 for their night's work. It may be more if they win the final.
Luton Town with maximum points securing the playoff place. The final game between Sheffield Wednesday and Millwall didn't affect the outcome, although Wednesday won that game 3-1. And so to tonight's playoff match, will it be Luton Town or Norwich City? Will Roy Wegley, who starred for Luton so far, continue his run, or will it be the current First Division leaders? Your commentator is John Motson.
The holders of the Littlewoods Cup, Luton Town, start this playoff final in the Guinness Soccer 6 with Alec Chamberlain in goal, Rob Johnson at 2, Danny Wilson, Marvin Johnson, Kingsley Black, and the man of the moment, Roy Wegley. As for the First Division leaders, Norwich City, John Sheffield, Ian Culverhouse, Andy Townsend, Paul Cook, wearing number 5, Robert Fleck at 6, and Trevor Putney, their captain. That's the starting team for them. The referee is Roger Dilks, and they play now for a place in Wednesday's Grand Finals night. Norwich in the yellow shirts, Luton Town in all red. Plenty of money at stake here. Both teams already certain to take home £14,000 tonight. And Trevor Putney straight away almost backheels the opening goal. And the winners of this playoff final then earn a further £7,000. Here's Marvin Johnson. And the foul was by Andy Townsend, chasing back. Number 6 here is Kingsley Black. Rob Johnson. Wilson's cross. Wegley's over on the far side, waiting for it to bounce back. Rob Johnson. One of the things I've noticed about Luton, and it's probably true about Norwich as well tonight, they've very rarely given the ball away. Obviously, the use of their own artificial surface at Kenilworth Road is an advantage to them, but so are the small-sided games that most of these clubs play in training. Andy Townsend. Trevor Putney. 2 teams met at Carrow Road recently and drew 2-2. Putney goes in for the first goal tonight. Trevor Putney just tucking it in for Norwich City. So it looks as though it's going to be another game of goals. Wasn't much room to aim at there. He steered the ball through the legs of Alec Chamberlain. And you'll probably get a better view of that from here. So 1-0 here to Norwich City. Putney, the man who scored here, number 9. Fleck back again to Cook. There's a certain assurance about the way Norwich pass the ball around. Fleck. Putney. Oh, chance for Culverhouse. 2-0 to Norwich. They're pleased down there, using the boards again so intelligently, this Norwich side. Deliberately driven there by Trevor Putney. That's what he hoped to achieve. And Ian Culverhouse, the former Tottenham player, puts away the second goal for his present club, Norwich City. And the changes going on down there. Mike Walker with the white hair, the Norwich City coach. Culverhouse. Ian Crook trying to dispossess Danny Wilson. And here's Wilson again. Opportunity here. Oh, well put away. Ian Allinson. Good finishing. And Luton Town are back in business. Danny Wilson with the first shot. Again, deliberate use of the boards. And how well Allinson chipped that one in. It's a beautiful strike, this. Really well placed. Into the last minute of the half. 2-1 to Norwich City. Allinson, who's brought Luton back into things. Now Marvin Johnson. Marvin is the successor to Mal Donaghy in the Luton back four these days. He's going through here for a possible equaliser. Good effort. Allen. Townsend, the man furthest forward for Norwich. Ian Crook is backing him up here. That's Crook. That's Townsend. Oh, Allen's in the middle. There he is. Just couldn't steer that one in. Here's Richard Harvey as the hooter goes for half-time, with Norwich City leading Luton Town, who's Ian Allinson brought them back into it after Trevor Putney and Ian Culverhouse had scored those 2 goals for Norwich. The second half of the playoff final to see who joins Charlton Athletic and the 3 seeded teams in Wednesday night's 4th night of this Guinness Soccer 6 tournament, which is its climax. Allen for Norwich. You've brought Ruel Fox on at the start of the second half. Here he is now. Had a very good second half in the last game. Scored twice. This is Crook. Allen. Fox. Putney's also back on, the captain. And here's Kingsley Black for Luton Town. And that's looking for Rob Johnson. Oh, what a good little flick was there by Ian Crook. Beautiful piece of play. And Putney has given the ball to Fox, and Allen is up as well. And this could be, well, it would have been one of the best goals of the championship. Jim Ryan down there. Townsend's back on. This is Paul Cook. And Putney, oh, well played by Trevor Putney. And Cook trying to place it very deliberately. It's come out to Fox. Now it's Andy Townsend. It's Fox again. Oh, how did he squeeze that through? It's 3-1 to Norwich. Ruel Fox salutes the goal. And this was, to say the least, an unexpected angle from which to score. Well, he'll get the credit, Ruel Fox. And I think the goalkeeper, well, he's certainly inside the near post. Just under 4 minutes to go. Norwich City in a healthy position here. There's going to be a sin bin offence. Ruel Fox has come back inside his own half. You have to leave a man in the opposing half of the field, and that's 2 minutes in the sin bin for the man who's just scored. They've labelled that pretty clearly, haven't they? Quite a good atmosphere here, and often the players spend time in there signing autographs. But they won't need to sign any there, because Mark Bowen has come into the action and he's given Norwich City a tremendous chance now. They're 4-1 up, and Mark Bowen here, having just come back on, again, that use of the board, so effective. And number 3, Mark Bowen, makes it 4-1. 3 minutes left. Norwich have scored 4 goals in a match for the 3rd time in 3 games tonight. A fine record, and they scored the 4th one there while they were a man short. Here's Kingsley Black. They've still got a man in the sin bin. That was Harvey for Luton. Royal Fox is still out of the action. And meantime, Luton press with Harvey and Allinson and Wegerle. This is good family entertainment, the Soccer Six. It's been well appreciated by the crowd here. This is Oldfield. Goalkeepers have done well, and a little bit of help from his friend. Andy Townsend was on hand to help John Sheffield, and now it's Robert Fleck back in the thick of things. Good play by him. Can he squeeze this one in, Fleck? He might even now lay it back to Cook. Deflection. Corner. 2 minutes to go. Royal Fox has got 15 seconds still to serve in the sin bin. But while he's been out the action, Norwich haven't suffered. In fact, they've improved their position. It's a corner. Here's Cook. Fleck.
Pick up Dave,
Allen. Malcolm Allen did cleverly there. They've got some good players, Norwich. I think the country's beginning to get aware of that now. This is Fox. Oh, some very good players. And he's one of them. Now, he just came out the sin bin there and thought, right, I've lost the last 2 minutes, so I'll make up for lost time. Just look at this. Striding on and thumping that beautifully in for number 5. Well, it's all gone now for Luton Town. Just a consolation maybe for them if they can carve an opening here. Rob Johnson. Norwich have moved so smoothly and with such good understanding. Excellent use of the boards behind the goals. That's definitely been a contributory factor to Norwich's play tonight. They've really sussed this game out, and they're on their way to Wednesday's finals night. Last few seconds, Ian Allinson, and John Sheffield also does his bit there. Well played. So, the leaders of the First Division, Norwich City, qualify for the finals night of the Guinness Soccer Six. A thumping 5-1 win, and it was a sparkling performance by Royal Fox and his teammates. Luton Town were certainly outclassed in that final, and all I can say is that Norwich's position in the First Division, if that's the quality of their football, is certainly absolutely and fully deserved, because they really entertained us there, and they'll be back on Wednesday.
My word, 13 goals in 3 games from Norwich City. They're certainly going to take some stopping on Wednesday evening. Norwich qualify along with Charlton Athletic, and they join the 3 seeded sides, Liverpool, Wimbledon, and the reigning Soccer Six champions, Nottingham Forest. So that leaves just 1 place left open to qualify, and 2 groups which are very strong tomorrow evening. In Group E, it's Manchester United, West Ham United, and Derby County. And in Group F, Arsenal, Southampton, and Middlesbrough. You can see the very best of the action on BBC One tomorrow evening at 11:40. That's a programme which will be repeated on Wednesday afternoon, also on BBC One at 3 o'clock. I do hope you've enjoyed it, but for now, from the Guinness Soccer Six, bye-bye.
From Monday's competition, the First Division leaders, Norwich City. And then last night, the resurgent team of the First Division, West Ham United. Three qualifiers then to join the 3 seeded teams. The league champions Liverpool making their first appearance in the competition, the FA Cup holders Wimbledon, and the Soccer Six champions Nottingham Forest. 2 groups to produce the finalists. Our opening match comes from the first of those groups, Charlton against Liverpool, and Johnson is the commentator.
On their different roads to recovery, Bruce Grobbelaar and Jan Molby are in the starting lineup for Liverpool, along with Alex Watson and the captain Peter Beardsley. As for Charlton, already with 1 night's experience here, it's Bob Boulder, John Humphrey, Peter Shirtliff, Steve Gritt, Paul Mortimer and Carl Leeburn, the 19-year-old who scored some useful goals when they won their playoff. So how well will Peter Beardsley display his skills on this surface? Should suit him. Referee for this opening match of the night is Roger Dilks, and Liverpool in the familiar red are playing from the right, with Jan Molby getting his first touch. And number 3 there is John Jeffers. It was played back by Durnin to Molby. Durnin again. Jeffers, number 3. Beardsley to his right. Jeffers shot. Humphrey got in the way. Slimline Molby. The block was by Shirtliff. Charlton in the all-grey. Leeburn, number 10. John Jeffers is 20 years old. Local lad. As indeed have 5 of the Liverpool squad tonight come through the ranks at Anfield. It's the first time Liverpool have played in this Soccer 6. So we'll see how well they adjust. Here's Beardsley. Well, Shirtliff can't play the ball back to his goalkeeper. That's forbidden if you've received it from him. If you play the ball directly back to your keeper, then you go into the sin bin. And the other rules, including the 6th man rule, you must leave a player in the opposing half of the field at all times. Here's Beardsley. Durnin, who was on loan to West Bromwich Albion a little while ago, scored a couple of goals there. John Durnin. This is Beardsley. And Charlton with Paul Mortimer. That was a free kick against Jan Molby for obstructing Paul Mortimer. Number 2 is Humphrey, and number 6 is Steve Gritt. Mortimer. Gritt again. He's got Leeburn in the middle. Number 10. Bruce Grobbelaar out. Alex Watson defending well for Liverpool. Now it's Beardsley. Durnin, the man up front. And he's got past Shirtliff. He's got past Boulder. Still John Durnin. Shirtliff with the tackle, won back by Beardsley. This is Durnin. Beardsley again. Molby's just behind him. The 2 experienced players combining for Liverpool. Here's Beardsley again. Charlton have pulled as many players back as they're allowed. This is Durnin. They must leave 1 in the other half. Molby. Jeffers. Back to Molby. Jan Molby has scored. Well, that's an impressive start to his comeback in the public eye. The Liverpool substitutes watching as Jan Molby opens the scoring here. He's certainly lost some weight, and he looked sharp there when he drove that left foot shot inside Bob Boulder's near post to give Liverpool the lead. Shirtliff for Charlton. Watson for Liverpool. Durnin, nice turn. Fouled by Gritt. So a good start here for the First Division champions. Here's the goal scorer. Beardsley. That was a good effort as well. That's Lenny Lawrence's team here, a goal behind and very much on the defensive as Steve Gritt gets a foot to that. Molby again, into Durnin. Beardsley just behind him. Durnin again. And Jeffers with the shot. Good save by Boulder. Well, Liverpool have started here as though they mean business. This is Beardsley. Durnin in the middle. And John Humphrey for Charlton. Well won back by Molby. Back heel to Durnin. Beardsley. There's no restriction on head height, as there might have been in the old five-a-side football. As long as the ball stays within the playing area, you just carry on. This is Jan Molby. And you can use the boards to good effect, playing a wall pass to get by an opponent. John Jeffers on the far side. Beardsley. I don't think the ball's been out of the Liverpool possession for more than a few seconds so far. They've controlled the game right from the start. And Paul Mortimer will be penalised, will he? Yes. Molby was the man who was fouled. Charlton have made a quick substitution. Andy Peake has come on, wearing number 9 for Charlton. Here's Molby for Liverpool, and here's Peter Beardsley. Durnin waiting in the centre. That was Peake. Ronnie Moran there with the Liverpool team tonight. And here's Beardsley. And Charlton having to defend pretty desperately in this opening half. One behind. Here's Mortimer for them. Lee Burns up front. Jeffers intercepts. And Grobbelaar with a very intelligent throw. That really has put John Durnin away here for Liverpool. Bob Boulder called into action again. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Liverpool lead Charlton by 1-0. And they brought on Mick Marsh, number 9 of Liverpool, a 19-year-old in place of Jeffers. This is Lee Burn for Charlton. Beardsley for Liverpool. Here's Molby. Marsh has gone to his left. And Durnin on the far side. That's a good goal again. And Liverpool here have taken over. John Durnin scored that one. And well created by Jan Molby. Just look at the space. And Durnin's finish, so assured. Molby has scored one and made one. And Liverpool lead by 2-0. 2 minutes left in the first half, and Charlton suddenly getting an education. In line, Michael Bennett coming on as a sub. Now Lee Burn. Don't forget, the managers can put their subs on at any time they want. There's a squad of 10. Number 4 there is David Campbell for Charlton, but he's missed out. And Durnin's through again against Bob Boulder. And Liverpool go 3-up. Well, they're well pleased down there. And John Durnin, now back at Anfield after his loan to the Hawthorns, slides his second goal past the Charlton keeper, Bob Boulder. Excellent finishing. Liverpool lead by 3-0. Now, what is Charlton going to do about this? Peake across to Lee Burn. Here's a chance. Oh. Corner will be given. Lenny Lawrence's side was so impressive when they won the first playoff here on Sunday night, but having started here against the seeded team, Liverpool, they suddenly find themselves 3 goals down, and we still haven't reached half-time. David Campbell will take the corner for Charlton. They've got young Peter Evans on now, Charlton. That was his pass to Peake. And Grobbelaar's down there to save. First from Peake and then from Bennett. Alex Watson, Dave Watson's brother. Mike Marsh on the far side. A minute left in the first half, and that was a risky pass by David Campbell. Here's Peter Shirtliff for Charlton. Well, a whirlwind start here by Liverpool. One or two of the players may be unfamiliar to the nation at large, but they've obviously learned their trade with these small-sided games at the training ground at Melwood. Charlton on the attack for the moment. This is Shirtliff. Well played. Campbell now for Charlton. And there's one back, surely, yes, Michael Bennett. Put away by 19-year-old Michael Bennett for Charlton. Campbell really used the boards well, and Bennett slid it in to make it 3-1. And Liverpool have brought on 19-year-old Charlie Boyd, wearing number 4. The midfield player, Beardsley nearly in on that. Lots of money at stake tonight in this prestigious tournament, with over £250,000 at stake overall, and Liverpool have come determined, it would seem, to win first prize, because at half-time in this opening group match, Ronnie Moran's team lead Charlton by 3-1. It's often said in football circles that Liverpool's training consists of lots of small-sided games, and that would appear to be genuinely valuable when it comes to a competition like this. Charlie Boyd, number 4, getting Marsh on his way here for Liverpool. Boyd again. Molby's up front. Here's Marsh. Back again to Boyd. Molby. And Marsh gets it back from Beardsley, and Liverpool, as they would normally, keeping possession, passing the ball sensibly, not giving Charlton very much space to win it back, but they might now. This is Peter Evans. Came off Alex Watson. And Watson again. Now then, did a Liverpool player come back into his own half there? I rather think that Mike Marsh is the offender. You must leave a player in the opposing half. And to the sin bin goes 19-year-old Mick Marsh for 2 minutes. Paul Mortimer. And Charlton beginning to settle a bit now. This is Grit. Oh, and Humphrey with a chance. It's a goal. Well, that 3-goal lead has been reduced to 1. John Humphrey is the scorer for Charlton. Bruce Grobbelaar unable to cover the near post area there. It was Stevie Grit with the shot, and in it went from Humphrey. So Charlton stage a recovery, having been overwhelmed by the way Liverpool opened and going 3-0 down. They're back now thanks to that goal to 3-2. Liverpool still waiting to get their suspended player back on the surface. For the time being, it's John Humphrey again for Charlton. Lee Burns there. Oof, good job Grobbelaar stopped that because Steve Britt was waiting to equalise. Here's Peter Shirtliff. We're into the last 5 minutes. It's a really good match. Lee Burn. Away by Watson. Lee Burn again. Liverpool will be back to full strength any second. Lee Burn again. And Mortimer. And Lee Burn. And a deflection. I think it was off Alex Watson. It's 3-3, and Charlton are back in business. Alex Watson really couldn't do much about that. Lee Burn has the shot, and I think it's going to be an own goal. I think you'll find that when Lee Burn hits this, it wasn't actually necessarily going to go in, but Watson's deflection took it wide of Grobbelaar. It's an own goal, and in this opening match, it's 3 goals apiece after Liverpool had led 3-0. Entertaining stuff here. Liverpool have brought on number 2, Nick Tanner, but for the moment it's Steve Grit away for Charlton and Lee Burn. And Grit! Oh, it's 4-3! Would you believe this? The South London boys have staged a quite astonishing comeback. And from 3-0 down, they're now in the lead. This is Lee Burn again, and Stevie Grit, the experienced player, tucks the ball in the net, and there's no stopping Charlton. This is Humphrey. We've still got nearly 4 minutes to go. Goodness knows what the score's going to be at the finish of this one. But it's very much what Soccer 6 should be about. And Lenny Lawrence and Mike Flanagan down there must have thought their team were dead and buried at one stage in the first half. Now they've scored 4 times, and Watson for Liverpool tries to set John Durnin away. They're now looking for the equaliser. Tanner, the blonde lad, defender. But they don't want people defending at the moment, Liverpool, and Morby's got caught there. Lee Burn to Grit. Peter Beardsley away from Mortimer. Durnin's in the centre. It's still Beardsley, and Bob Boulder's there. Bob Boulder, a former Liverpool goalkeeper, by the way, playing against the club that he used to be with when he was the understudy to Grobbelaar for a while. This is Molby. So it'll mean a lot to Bob Boulder and to Lenny Lawrence if Charlton can hold on to this lead. Tanner for Liverpool. Durnin. It's a tiring game, and they need the breather. That is David Campbell. This is Mortimer. Oh, Campbell and Mortimer combining. Mortimer's shot against the plexiglass. Campbell! David Campbell, the Northern Ireland international, used to be with Nottingham Forest, now very much with Charlton. And look at this, the plexiglass presenting him with the chance off the rebound. 5-3 to Charlton. John Humphrey. And the way this game was conceived, Soccer 6, this is exactly what really entertains the crowd. And there's another one for Campbell off Grobbelaar. I think Grobbelaar will have to call that an own goal. He was unlucky. They can't believe it down there. David Campbell is the Charlton player who gets their touch here, but look at this, off the boards, own goal Grobbelaar. So 2 own goals here by Liverpool, and it's 6-3 to Charlton after Liverpool had led 3-0. Poor old Bruce. Dern in for Liverpool. They brought on their number 8, Jim Magilton, have Liverpool, who's a 19-year-old Irish lad, a midfield player. This is Tanner. Another new name, Beardsley. Dern in. Oh, could have had the hat-trick and missed it. Tanner. You can't take your eyes off this match. Tanner again. We're approaching the last 10 seconds. I think it's pretty fair to say Charlton have won it in quite amazing circumstances. Lenny Lawrence and Mike Flanagan down there will be absolutely thrilled to bits. What about that? The league champions Liverpool, their first experience of Soccer 6. They must have thought it was easy when they led 3-0, but they reckoned out Stevie Grit and Charlton. That's a fabulous comeback. A really good game for the crowd to enjoy. And would you believe the final score? Liverpool 3, Charlton Athletic 6.
Astonishing fight-back victory for Charlton, and a win in their next match would put them in the final. That next match was against West Ham.
Well, one of the prices that West Ham had to pay for their victory in the playoff last night was that veteran goalkeeper Phil Parkes was injured, got a cut in his elbow in one of the early matches, so Alan McKnight takes over in goal. The rest of the starting lineup, Potts, Gale, Ince, Kelly and Keane. And Charlton, after that marvellous match against Liverpool, have every reason to feel confident, and they're starting with Boulder, Humphrey, Shirtliff, Grit, Mortimer and Leeburn. Alan Flood is the referee. West Ham in claret and blue. Playoff winners last night. They've stayed up, obviously, in Manchester for the last 24 hours to take part in the finals. And here for them is Tony Gale. Bob Boulder behind it. Well, Charlton must be oozing with confidence after scoring 6 times against Liverpool from a position of 3-0 down. They've begun by just pushing the ball about and finding space on the far side with Shirtliff. Leeburn, it's a goal. Straight through Alan McKnight from Carl Leeburn. This tall 19-year-old who Charlton picked up from the Lewisham area, right on their old doorstep, as it were, South East London, tucked that ball underneath Alan McKnight. Here's Ince. Gale. Oh, penalty. Shirtliff on Gale. A smile on the face of Peter Shirtliff, but there's no question the referee was right, as I think you'll see from this. Tony Gale was definitely brought down. Kevin Keane to take the penalty against Bob Boulder. Equalises. 1-1. And West Ham pull things round in this London derby. Beautifully struck. 1 each. Four minutes left in the half. Here's Steve Grit. And now it's Leeburn. I was talking to Michael Norris, the Charlton chairman, before this evening's entertainment started, and there's a lot of talk of them still going back to play in the borough where they really belong, down there in Greenwich. But for the moment, in this indoor game, they're level with West Ham. Paris, George Paris, who's just come on. And also for West Ham now, Julian Dix, wearing 5, is on the surface. There he is. Not quite. Interception was by John Humphrey. He's got Leeburn to his right and Bennett to his left. Steve Grit coming short. So is Shirtliff here. Michael Bennett still there. Shirtliff looked for Leeburn instead, and here's a break. 2 against 1. Good chance for West Ham. They're clean through. Steve Potts. Oh! Well, I think that was a defender finding himself in a forwards position. Steve Potts getting right underneath it. It was a very good opening for West Ham, that. And a let-off for Charlton. Charlton, of course, play at Selhurst Park these days, sharing with Crystal Palace, but I know that the club's real supporters still feel they belong back in the Greenwich area, where, of course, they did used to occupy the Valley. Number 6 there is George Paris for West Ham. And number 9 for Charlton is Andy Peake. Humphrey. Oh, he went all the way there, John Humphrey. He's been a most effective player here for Lenny Lawrence and Mike Flanagan. John Humphrey has scored 3 goals, even though he's normally a fullback. He's acquainted himself well with this indoor football, and he's got the finishing touch. 2-1 to Charlton. So Alan McKnight, who's come in to replace Phil Parkes tonight in goal for West Ham, has been beaten twice. Bob Boulder, meantime, clears his lines. Now then, that ball went from 1/3 to the other without bouncing or touching another player. That's what they call the 3-line rule, and it has to be a free kick indirect to West Ham. This is Dix. Gale. And Ince. Oh, good clearance by Peake. Just bear in mind, if the ball is played from 1/3 to the other, it has to either touch the surface or another player on the way through. And Boulder's kick there didn't. Here's Ince. Charlton do cover well back there. They've learned a few lessons playing here this week. West Ham have come back once. Can they come back again? And this is Campbell for Charlton. Peter Evans is in the attack as well. Here's Michael Bennett. Campbell. Bennett! Goal! Well, there's no stopping Charlton, is there? They really have adapted to this sort of football. And here, Bennett starts the move. It goes to Campbell. That's good use of the plexiglass. And Bennett's on hand to tuck that one in off the post and put Charlton into another commanding position. 3-1, and we're in the last minute of the first half, and if it stays like this in Charlton's favour, then they would qualify for tonight's overall final. Here's Ince for West Ham. What can they do about it? That's what they can do. Exactly that. Paul Ince, smashing finish. Bob Boulder well beaten. That's good, close skill, and what a good strike there as he fell backwards from Paul Ince. 3-2. Andy Peake. David Campbell making a run across here, number 4. Michael Bennett inside to Paul Mortimer. Oh, it's opening up for Mortimer. Oh, and can they do it? They can. It's David Campbell, and Charlton are too clear again. An easy goal in the end for Campbell, because Mortimer's shot, after he got past Potts, squeezed it past the goalkeeper, and Campbell only had to just steer that into the unguarded net. 4-2 to Charlton. Here's George Paris for West Ham. Keane, Paris.